Huh? Huh? What do you guys think? What's up, everybody? Thanks for checking out this video. This is going to be my Zelda for the NES 1 and 2 wrap-up video. So if you don't know, my resolution for 2017 this year, gaming resolution, is to actually beat as many Zelda games as I possibly can in preparation for Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild looks so good, and I really want to get into that one. But I have OCD, and I kind of want to beat as many of the other ones as I can first. That being said, I beat the very first Legend of Zelda on the NES Gold Cart right here, and I'm going to say that right now, this is one of my favorite NES games. It's really, really fun. I had some friends over, and we basically plowed through it in one night in just over 7 hours, and it was a lot of fun. If you haven't played it, I would recommend it. The few things that I would recommend, though, however, playing this game would be to use save states if possible, if you can. Use a guide or a walkthrough. The game is very, very cryptic, unless you are a hardcore NES enthusiast who loves to, make their lives a little bit more difficult. That is the way to go, in my opinion. If that may not be your opinion, and that's fine too. But just for myself, and many of you, we have lives, we have other things we need to do. We don't have time to spend hours, burning every bush, bombing every wall, trying to figure out all the hidden passages and things like that. So that's what I would say for this game. The gameplay I thought was really fun. The puzzles weren't that hard. They were pretty easy to figure out. And the dungeons I thought were pretty enjoyable, and they made a lot of sense. You find them, you find the map, you figure out where to go, and things like that. It all made sense for the most part, aside from a few cryptic things. The game pretty much gives you what you need to know to figure it out, if you have the time and the patience to do it. But yeah, I can definitely see where the series was going, and I really like it. So we live streamed this whole thing. If you want to check it out, I'll leave a card somewhere. You can watch that on speed through if you want to. It's not super exciting. I'm sure many people have seen this, and I'm sure speedrunners are a lot more fun to watch than a bunch of guys sitting on a couch playing the game for the first time. But either way, it was a good experience for me. Now moving on to the black sheep of the NES Zelda library, of the entire Zelda library, Zelda 2: The Adventures of Link. I have very, very mixed feelings about this game, and I mean so extremely mixed. I can't hardly put words together in order to make this a comprehensible thought. I understand why this is the black sheep of the family. I understand why a lot of people don't like it. I understand why a lot of people gave it a shot. It's very different from the first game, like very, very different. That there is an overworld, and then when you enter palaces or dungeons, or you encounter enemies in the overworld, it goes to a side-scroller action, more traditional platformer style. It works. I'm not going to say it doesn't work, because clearly it does, and it does work. It is a different style of game. There's nothing wrong with that. However, I'm going to use what I heard someone else say, and I can't remember who it was. It's not a bad game. It is just very unfair, if that makes any sense. So as far as gameplay mechanics, it works great. The jumping is responsive. The attacking is responsive. When you do your downward thrust or your upward thrust, it works perfectly fine. However, some of the enemies in this are just too hard. They block your shots. They seem to predict your move before you do, and some of them are just insanely difficult, and I can't imagine playing this game on the NES. If you beat this game on the NES when you were a kid, or even recently for the first time, or some time in the near future, or the near past I should say, and you did not use save states, or you did not use a walkthrough, kudos to you. And I mean, I have the highest regard of what you can do, because we played this with save states and a walkthrough, and it still took us 13-14 hours to get through it, and that's us not knowing anything about what we're doing aside from the walkthrough. Aside from enemies being hard, there's chances between some things that you hit, so there'd be a statue, it could give you a potion, or it could become a super hard enemy. And I couldn't imagine spending hours and hours and hours through a game, getting to that far, you have hardly any health left, a little bit of magic, 1 life left in your thing, and you hit this thing hoping for a red potion, which refills your entire magic meter, and one of these enemies comes out and just beams the hell out of your head, and then you're dead. And then that's game over for you. I would find it very frustrating. Even as we played this with our save states, we found it very frustrating. So, yeah, it's very hard to explain. I did like the game. I like the idea of where the game is going, but I will probably never play this game again, to be honest with you. It is just way too hard. So, full disclosure, we played this on a Retron 5, which is admittedly not a true playing of the game. In some ways it is an emulation, as it rips the ROM from the cart to play it on your TV. We did that for ease of save states and streaming. That's why we did that. That being said, I think that the emulation in this case may have hurt us, even with the original Legend of Zelda. I think between some of the speedrunners we've seen and playthroughs and tips and trick videos, what we were seeing in our emulated version of this game versus what we were seeing other people play, we were not getting the same enemy patterns. A lot of the enemies looked very simple because their patterns or their paths were predictable. In our emulated version, even though it was ripped directly from the cart, the enemy movement seemed very erratic. And you can check out our live streams if you want to go through that, especially later on in the game where things get really, really hard, even on both Legend of Zelda and Link's Adventures. It was just ridiculous at some point. So that may be kind of a fault on ours. Maybe if we played it on the original NES, it would be a little bit different. I don't know, but that's just something I feel I need to let everyone else know kind of what we were doing. Also, another full disclosure, in the live stream that we did of this, of course we had people around. We were passing the controller, kind of like what we would do back in the day if we were, at a friend's house or had friends over. We'd try to beat a game together. That's kind of what I'm going for in our live streams. And so the very last boss, the Thunderbird and Shadow Link or Dark Link, in the live stream it was my friend that beat him, not me. However, I will say that after the live stream had ended, I did go back using our save states that we had used, and I did beat those 2 bosses myself, just to say that I had beaten the final bosses of this game. But yeah, I just wanted to let everyone know that as well. So that is my wrap up of the NES Zelda games. Been there, beat the games, got the t-shirt. I don't know what else to say about it. I'm looking forward to playing the later ones. We're going to start Link to the Past very soon if we haven't already, by the time this video comes up. So look forward to that. And I'm really looking forward to playing Ocarina of Time. I think that's one of my ones that I've really been looking forward to, along with Link to the Past. And Wind Waker is the next one I'm really looking forward to getting to. So anyways, that's going to do it for this video. Thanks very much for watching it. If you've beaten any of the Legend of Zelda games, please comment down below. Let me know what you think of them, which one's your favorite, which ones you like or don't like, and what you like or don't like about them. Anyways, that's enough rambling from my end. I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.